someone that needs. Been through a lot of things. Tell me if you know someone that needs.
Peace, 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 family. How's everybody doing? I hope you are all doing well. It was a little clip from Mr. Kanye West. I know nobody really cares too much for him, but that song, I really like that song. So, how y'all doing though? I hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. My name is Keisha. I am the owner of A Way of Life, and today I'm going to be discussing the weekly astrology. I'm going to try not to be too long. I know I always say that and end up being on here for a whole 30 minutes. But so Mars is going to square Pluto. This is intense crisis energy, and I think we can already kind of see that reflecting out in the world. And then we have the full moon in Aries this week, which is not helping. Okay. So this is going to light a fire under people to take action on what has been sitting under the surface over the past few weeks, especially with all those outer planets that were in retrograde going direct. As the planets wake up and build momentum, so is everybody else, you know. So a lot of truth being revealed, things that hasn't been said are gonna come out now. You can feel like you can feel like you have a lot of drive and motivation to push forward with things, to start a business with that Pluto and Capricorn. Or this could be around work issues or around work things. So going back to work, leaving work, right? We're definitely seeing that, but essentially fighting for what's yours or for your deepest desires, your reputation, your status. These are all Pluto and Capricorn themes, right? And Mars is just motivating, giving the fuel to work towards any of those themes. And then we have I think essentially people are just going to become very angry. Really trying to tiptoe around this energy. Family, it's going to be a heavy next few weeks. And to be quite frank, I feel like all the way through to the end of December, because right after that, we hit the eclipse in Taurus, and eclipses are always intense, but it's happening during Scorpio season, which also happens to be intense. So people they're gonna grow angry, but now is the best time to really sit back and wait before acting. There are some things that you're actually gonna need to take action on, but not the aggression, family. If you've been listening to me for a really long time, I've mentioned before that even a peaceful protest is a low vibrational energy, essentially, because you're asking for something from somebody else when you could be sitting down, working on how to work towards and manifest whatever it is you're asking for. And I really think on a deeper level, that is what Pluto and Capricorn is asking us to do. Stop begging these people for stuff. This government's not set up to help you. We knew that a long time ago. And yeah, you feel duped. You got the okie doke, they played us. They did us good. We knew that for a really long time. Does that mean we shouldn't be angry and that we don't have the rights to be out here acting a fool? Absolutely not. Secretly, deep down inside, I'm not gonna lie, I find it quite joyfully funny. I think the government's getting exactly what they deserve. But then on the other hand, you also have to understand their point of view and their perspective. Aries is the sign of war. And when you think about war and what the art of war is, it's very meticulous, strategic, um, and thought-provoking. This is not an energy in which we've learned it to be over the years. It actually has nothing to do with fighting. It's all about putting your energy towards fixing whatever that structure is, because then what happens down the line when you waste your time protesting or not taking control of your own problems is that you've now wasted 2 weeks. I'm using an example, right? Hell, it could be your whole life. Some people could really feel that way. You know, you've wasted your life fighting for something that was never intended for you anyway, right? And so whenever you are called to do better, um, it's all about educating yourself. And so if you are a business owner, I'm going to use business because Capricorn essentially is about business, your reputation, being disciplined within that process, having your goals, following your goals and structures and systems, knowing these things, right? Essentially, if you had your own business and you learned the techniques and things that you needed to know about business, then what you should think of, what I think Mars and Libra is just so brilliantly about, is that, you know, if you're going through the same kind of struggle, you really got to look at these other companies and think, okay, they must be going through the same thing. And that's not to say that it's supposed to make it better, but then you take it to the next level and consider, okay, this is the age of Aquarius. We are an inventive, innovative energy. And so when you don't give so much of yourself to an issue, problem, uh, crisis, any negative, low vibrational energy, and you focus it on yourself, then that what you do is you turn the tables on the situation, and that energy ends up working for you, right? And not against you, right? Because you can do things at this time where you can really regret it, right? You can really have some regrets at this time for the actions that you take. So be mindful. Um, use this energy to educate yourself. If you are frustrated about something that is not working out in your life, let me be clear. I am not for the government. I know y'all know that. I can't stand them motherfuckers neither. To be quite frank, I hope they all die under a bunch of bricks. But still, it is my responsibility to solve my own problems. And yes, we are heavily indebted to the system, because even in the educational system, they are not teaching us these things. We know that. It's best about time we stop complaining about it, because we've already wasted how many years? We just had a protest last year when all the shutdown happened. What, did they change anything? Did they do anything? No. They came back with some vaccines and now they got this mandate. That should tell you something. Don't go out in these streets fighting for people who clearly do not have your best interest at heart. That is not going to get you the results that you want. Sit down, educate yourself, study under some people who are really giving you the truth. Stop following behind these people. Stop spending your money on them. Stop giving your, they give you money, you give it right back to them. You go to their stores, you use their services, all that BS. You know, start buying into your Black businesses, your small owned businesses, right? We got to get out of that race crap too, because at the end of the day, if we're being real honest, I don't give a damn how privileged you are because of the skin of your color. If you don't know business, you still lose out on that opportunity. Trust me, these people, white people and other races, or whatever, they're all struggling too. We are all in this together. And that's another thing. The sooner we realize that and come together as a society, right? It's really society against the government, you know, we come back from that perspective and fight them from that perspective. And I don't mean going out here protesting. I mean, fight them back with your knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is everything. Get strategic. Um, you know, Come together with a group of other people who are on the same page and build that way. That is your strength, family. That really is the only way. Outside of that, anything else you're doing, it's a waste of time and energy, you know, and we need to stop doing that. But overall, it's best to focus on things from the past, really analyzing and sitting with those things, closing out those cycles as we wrap up this Gemini Sagittarius energy and all these planets that are moving forward now. We're wrapping up cycles with them too. Even Jupiter and Aquarius, which will change to Pisces at the end of the year, we are wrapping up that cycle. And so really sitting down with your chart and knowing what is being asked of you at this time would be best. This energy would be better used at this time instead of getting out there protesting, even fighting with your family, however this is showing up in your personal life. If there are issues coming up, people have some things to say about your choices and what you're doing and how you're moving forward. Let them be. Say, thank you, I hear you, I appreciate your opinion. But if they ain't helping you, they don't live with you, they ain't got nothing to do with how you finna get from A to B to pay your bills and live your life, fuck them. Opinions are like assholes and everybody's got one. Amen. God bless you. Hobukasha, all that. All that, you know, let them have their opinions and be on your way and stay focused on your mission, your purpose. What are the new things that you have learned? How are you going to get to that new thing? How are you going to accomplish that new thing? We have to remember Mars has supposedly grown up, right? Because if you was listening to me for a long time, last year I did like freaking 6 videos on Mars because Mars had this long transit in its own sign. And we were supposed to learn from that. What did you learn through that Mars cycle? It's supposed to be a whole new cycle. We're supposed to be thinking a whole differently now, not to mention they really could give zero fucks about y'all being out there protesting. Like, I promise you, these devils don't care. Okay. That's my tidbit for the day. I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, there's definitely gonna be some action to be taken, but now it's just really a better time to continue working on reflecting on the past as the energy and momentum of these planets are moving, gaining momentum to move forward at its fullest potential. There will be some things that, like I say about retrogrades, like you can't just stop your life. So, do the things that you have to do. But I say instead of participating in the aggression or the anger, the frustration of this energy, take that frustration and put it into your passion, your deepest desires, and how are you going to manifest that? All right. So this is a full moon week. I did say that. If you've been feeling the need to flare up again, that's why. This is not going to be an easy energy. It's just not. Aries is not happy in Libra. I'm sorry, Mars is not happy in Libra because it's has to consider other people's feelings instead of just plowing forward. right? Some of the things that you could be asking yourself right now is, do you need to react? Do you need to push forward? Can you put yourself in their shoes? Their shoes meaning the other people. So like I was using the government as an example, and understanding that all businesses have the same system and structures. And that's kind of what Pluto is reflecting, just a part of it. It's not the entire story, but definitely an important piece. And so when you think about your life and how you have a system and structure and what you have to abide by, if you're struggling, you have to know that so are these businesses. And so how do you, where do you stand within that decision and understanding? Um, I'm just going to be honest. I quite frankly would like to continue to see them struggling. Just saying, it's nothing personal. It's just business. But and I mean that from my whole heart, with the utmost respect, but I am dedicated and focused to now homeschooling my child, because I've now understood that they're not going to teach them anything better. It's just going to be more consumerism, and I'm dedicated to ending that cycle, right? So I quit my job. I don't want anything to do with that system anymore, because I understand now that no matter what they do, they're never going to care enough. Their systems are not set up to give a damn about whether or not I see my baby, whether or not I get to spend time with my family, whether or not I'm stressed out. Okay, it's just not what it is, right? And so I've chosen to fight back by way of releasing that energy from my life. Am I struggling? Hell the fuck yeah. I'm still happy. I get to do astrology and come on here and talk crazy to y'all every week. And I challenge myself to grow within my knowledge of self and business and how I want that to be and how am I going to grow in that. And I promise you that innovation comes, as people, we are magical beyond measure, right? Trust me. Once that energy of, I don't want to say fear like in a bad way, but like your body is going to recognize, oh shit, I smell trouble ahead, right? I know that I need to get up and get motivated and taking control of my life, right? And so again, you want to take that fear, that energy, and put it into educating yourself and building with people who are going to be able to help you towards whatever it is that's going to make you not fearful, right? More free and happy, right? Those are the ways that you really want to try. I feel like I'm saying that and I still feel I still feel like people are just like, move out of the way. We don't want to hear none of this bullshit you gotta say. I'm going to protest. And I get it, family. I understand. It's not gonna work. Anyway, so asking yourself, can you put yeah. Oh shoot, I lost my thing. Can you put yourself in their shoes to see why they're acting the way that they are? And this obviously can be about people. I was just using the government because I feel like that issue is pretty clear in our faces and we can see that, right? But you could have this in your personal life where people might not be with you on a lot of these things, and that's okay too. Let them have their say and be on your way. This can cause people to take a hard look at themselves and make changes. I think that's exactly what this is really all about. Especially when it comes to considering others with that Mars and Libra energy. So, boop, 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 boop. Okay, so then we have the Jupiter and Mercury will go direct on the 18th, which is really just tapping into what I was just saying, right? Because Jupiter is all about education, even universal law. Like thinking about this from the perspective of what goes around comes around. Just be mindful, like your actions are being recorded in real time. And once these energies come back around to these same places, you will have to pay for what you've done. So why not, be the mature? That can also be a Capricorn thing, right? Where did you grow and mature and use that maturity and act in a mature way instead of that low vibrational way? And admit that there might be some things that you just don't know and understand, right? And be okay with that. That could be considered a little bit of being vulnerable, right? Or even having some humility. And this could just be talking about it too, educating yourself, but depending on leaning on some groups of friends and circle of friends that you might have. But this is also that very innovative energy because Jupiter is in Aquarius right now. And that's another cycle that we're closing out. So what did we learn about coming together? This is Libra cardinal energy. What tribe are you building to help you throughout this process? Leaning on your people in a time of need. Mercury's in Libra. This is all about partnerships, relationships. Who's on your team that you got that can support you through this? How are y'all going to come together to build and move forward? More of that energy is coming up here, and more of the pieces of the story could even come in to help you. Like we might not even need to be all this acting out, because trust and believe, if you're doing the work and you're following people who are the depictions of what you want to see, like that already doing these things in their daily life, that should give you some wisdom, some hope, some faith to look forward to. Your beliefs have changed now. You've grown within watching other people succeed and living off the grid and not within the system, things of this nature, whatever it is that you're building. Not everybody's on that level, but I mean, whatever this is for you, where there's a will, there's a way, right? But these are opportunities, expansion and opportunities, finding balance in relationships and in business partnerships and just in your business in general. I feel like all those things are possible right now especially with that Mars trine Jupiter, but if you have any retrograde planets in your chart, it's also a time for you to acknowledge that you might be going within at this time. I think that's important to mention because some people might be feeling a double hit of that energy, that surge of energy with all those planets moving forward. They're the strongest on the day that they station, and it could be draining you. And it really, there could be so many different reasons for that, but one of them could be the fact that you're actually now being pulled backwards. And so it's doubling your energy of like inward energy. That could be a little bit tough and difficult too. So be patient with yourself in this process. But again, Mars is going to trine Jupiter, bringing in action and the desire to expand on all these new things that you've been learning around, meeting new people, and opportunities around that can expand around balancing your relationships and business. This is great for interviews, public speaking, teaching, and finding your soul tribe. Having drive for business deals, balancing your work, and being diplomatic, or anything that brings you harmony. And again, with that universal law stuff, staying focused, really. That's the best way I think I can explain it. I mean, it's definitely karma. What goes around comes around when I think of universal law, but really about knowing the difference between who your real enemies are, and people who may be showing up as your enemy, right? So again, that's just like going back to asking yourself those tough questions. If people are coming at you sideways, like, just think what they might be going through. Let them have their words, because you can't control somebody else, but you also can make a choice not to, meet them at their level. Just hear them out, whatever. If you're in a situation, it depends. You could just walk away, right? But you do have a choice not to be within that energy. And I actually think this is a great transition into that Jupiter and Aquarius moving into Jupiter and Pisces at the end of this year, with all these other cycles that we're closing out, right? And so that's going to give you a little bit of what to look forward to moving forward, which I think that this Jupiter and Pisces energy is going to be so freaking dope. But it's always about, holding yourself accountable to that. If you want to see that dopeness in that energy, whatever it is, you really got to be holding yourself accountable to your spiritual journey, and the expectations and things that you expect to see in your life. All right. And then Wednesday's the actual full moon. People can feel criticized from others about certain things, but Mars trine Jupiter really is going to help us be a little bit more understanding if you're tapped in. Mercury is also going to be direct at that time, so we'll be able to communicate. We'll have the support of communication. And also, again, focusing on the past. So remember whatever was going on for you back in the beginning of the year. All right. And then last but not least, Friday starts Scorpio season. So we're all get even more focused to help us achieve these goals. I feel like that Scorpio energy is really good at blocking out BS. So that can help you even more towards tapping into that higher vibrational energy. But also the Sun and Mars will be moving into Scorpio, and we'll have that Sun square Saturn activation to the Saturn Uranus square, which is really, really intense. Scorpio's really, really intense. And that new moon in Taurus is an eclipse. That's going to be really, really intense. And so there you go. And there you have it, family. The proverbial shit's going to hit the fan. I just don't see this energy slowing down too much. I mean, we'll have some support here. I don't want to make it sound all bad, but for the most part, we're going to have to deal with the actions and decisions that we make at this new moon. They really are going to imprint how things play out, really, honestly, for the next year, and what will be forced to work on for the next year. So be mindful. Remember, I got November horoscopes out. If you haven't checked those out, definitely want to check those out, family. And if you want your eclipse horoscopes, they are available and ready. If you sign up to the Cosmic Connection group, I will send you emails directly to you. All right. All right, Aries, things will be revealed on how you are giving too much to others, or maybe being a little bit selfish, or it could be vice versa. Maybe you're um, you're not giving enough to yourself, and you're not and you're focusing too much on other people. So, whatever the situation is, that's going to cause you to take some action and find imbalance, which could actually lead to, or it could come out of some work issues, something around your work, but it could also lead to some really great work opportunities. Taurus, your beliefs of what you should be doing on a day-to-day basis may not be aligned with what you're actually doing on a day-to-day basis. So you may need to rest. And this could come out of, again, this could come from some issues around power and control around, somebody telling you, well, you say you do this and that, but you are not really doing that. So what's really good, And so pick your battles, family. Really, really, really stop and think before you react. People might be right about what they're saying about you. And if they are, that's your lesson to get to your blessing, right? All right. Gemini, spend time with friends and social networks you belong to. There could be something revealed or highlighted. Financial issues and power and control issues can be highlighted. Try not to respond, but just sit and reflect, reevaluate in your tribe, and focus on things that bring you joy. Cancer, there can be conflict with your career and what is getting in the way of that. The transition to make that happen is going to be hard. Again, pick your battles, because whatever's coming out could be a more about how you're showing up, even if that's not how you really feel. And so how are you going to deal with that? You do have the opportunity to have some healing through this, whatever is coming up here, and your family dynamics, and the possibility for some money to come out of it too, which is always good. So kudos to you on that. Good luck on that. Leo is expanding to have new experiences, new view of the world that forces you to change the things that you experience or want to experience, or how you're experiencing things. You could be adding on to your education because of that. Like you're gonna get enlightened somehow, some way through an experience. Maybe a little bit of romance in the relationship. Or you just like choose to go on a day trip or something. It doesn't really have to be romantic, but and then also bringing in more partnerships and projects, which is always good. Virgo, money issues are coming in, so you will be working to figure that out. And you'll be trying to figure out what are you really passionate about. Is there some pressure? And there could be some pressure to make that happen, but I think that you're going to figure it out, because Virgos have been having this nodal north node thingy going on here. So especially once Taurus moves into the north node, it could be more compatible with your energy, because they're both earth signs. And so you'll have more support in finding out your north node mission, passion, purpose in life. If you have children, and you're going through a divorce, some things around raising your children could come up, seeing them could come up. Pick your battles, pick your battles, pick your battles. Don't let it get to you. Even if that means letting go. I know that might be hard to hear, because we love our babies, but when you're in those kinds of situations, trust and believe your children know. You keep them in your heart. Keep them in your heart. Okay. Libra, relationships are on your mind. You may have been a little more demanding, causing power and control issues. And when I say demanding, I just mean sticking up for yourself. Family, if you're going through this and people can't, especially if you're going through this with people who have been friends with you for a long time, they should know you at this point and know when you're being serious and when you're not. Or you're just, you're speaking your mind, right? If you have people who are taking you offensively, taking your actions out of line, out of order, again, just say, you know what, I hear you, I understand you, keep it moving, lock those people out of your life. Seriously, I'm so serious. Like, it's y'all gotta go. All right. And I'm not supporting, by the way, for you to be demanding and not see that as rude, but I also know as Libras, they are typically always the persons who will sacrifice themselves for others because they are innately born with that ability. And so the one time you do stand up for yourself and somebody takes that out of context, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. People could view this as wrong, but I say that that's an indication that that person needs to go by lice. And yes, and you can still honestly admit that you might have been wrong. You could have said that a little better and deal with that and go move and be on your own way. All right. But ultimately the goal is to find balance, right? So pick your battles. Don't fight with those people. They're not worth it. Scorpio, this is busy, 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 busy when it comes to work and daily routine and health. Don't burn yourself out. Someone may be working against you. So just be mindful of that. Pick your battles. Again, if you're experiencing these types of things and you're like, yo, how did I not know that my coworkers was like plotting on me like that? Or how did I not know something about maybe a project that you're working on, something could just be revealed to you in such a way where you're just like, wow, I didn't see that. Like, I just didn't see that. And so it could flare up some nostrils and whatnot or whatever. But again, acknowledge it, say thank you. I'm going to go do my work and work on me, get some rest, and do your healing. Start working on yourself. Whatever that situation is for you, however you feel like you need to deal with that issue. But definitely acknowledging where we are wrong. I'm not supporting that people don't. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like, honestly, family, fighting is just not the way to go with this energy. I promise you, you're not going to get the results that you want. All right. Sagittarius actually has this in a pretty good way. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. Hallelujah. Okay. Some hobbies. You could a hobby could be revealed to you that brings you joy, and you're just like, yo, how did I not know that this thing makes me happy? And so you could be figuring out how you could make this a bigger part of your life. You may learn something about your children that you didn't know that could cause pressure. And you might be a little bit more social at this time. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Capricorn, something is being revealed around home and family, maybe an ancestral line, bloodline, that is asking you to take action. And these could have been little things that you've been seeing here and there throughout these last months or so, but now it's just going to be like in your face and hard to ignore. So there could be pressure around career, but the work that you do is going to ultimately bring money to the bank. So again, take that frustration and anger and work towards your goals. You'll do so much better, especially with Cappies, because you got Venus. Your sign is about to be in Venus, and then you'll have it there for an extended amount of time because Venus is going to go retrograde in Capricorn. And that's always lovely when Venus does an extended stay. So pick your battles, acknowledge that how people are viewing whatever situations that may be coming up, and keep it pushing, keep it pushing. Aquarius, you may find out you have a sibling or a half sibling that you didn't know about that could come to light, or maybe even a trip or a car, maybe some issues with a trip or a car, but it doesn't have to be an issue. It just could be maybe you're getting a car, or that you need a car. Maybe that's a better way to say it, or going on a trip, or want to go on a trip that's being revealed at this time. And your mindset is changing because you're learning new things, and now you're trying to incorporate them in your daily life. I actually thought that was kind of dope. That's that third house activation going on there. All right, Pisces, money is being revealed to you. There's an opportunity that is revealed to make some extra money. Something that causes friction and anger also could be coming out this time. Sleep on it. It'll help with the tension. Remember, acknowledge the situation, acknowledge that people are maybe seeing you in a certain light, even if that's not the way you feel. Just know that that is your how do you, what now, why I can't think of the word. That is your lesson to move into your blessing. That is not what I was going to say, but that's what I'm saying. Either way, try to look at these things as blessings that you need to learn that are going to ultimately bring blessings into your life. I promise you, family, you won't regret it. Step down, let go of the ego, leave that frustration and anger out of the equation, and I promise you, it's going to change the way you view issues moving forward. I promise you, you will get something from this. This energy won't let you down. It's very powerful. It's very initiating energy. You can really do some strong manifesting and close some really old cycles, deaded issues that needed to be shut down any damn way. They weren't working. They're not showing you in the best of light, and they're not allowing you to show up in your best light. I promise you, family, it's something that's got to go. And if you hold on to that anger and you fight anger with anger, you're going to repeat that cycle. It's going to keep coming up until it bursts, and then the universe steps in, and that's never fun, man. It's never fun. Make the choice today to do something different than what you would do in the past. All right. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.